Right. So this is a 30-minute strength training class. So make sure that you have hand weights. You can have some lighter ones and heavier ones to get started. If you're watching the recording, we're going to do a warm up, but you are welcome to just sort of move, clean in your house, do something so your muscles are warm before you start. All right, so we are going to get started. So go ahead and you can march. If you want to, you can do a little jog. Good. You can keep that march going and then arm circles forward. So nice and slow. So gentle with those shoulders, especially as you're warming up. Good. Arm circle backwards. So you should feel that core engage a little bit as you circle those arms. Good. And go ahead and have your feet still. You can step apart. Arms in a T, and we're going to do airplane. So go ahead, twist to one side going up on the opposite toe. So just twist back and forth, picking up that heel. So you should feel your belly button into your spine. Good. And then go ahead and stand still. We're going to do about 10 or 15 squats to warm up. So feet hip width apart. And for those squats, sit back in your heels. Here we go. 1, 2. Those toes should be coming up. 4. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, we will go ahead and get started. So go ahead and grab your heavier weights. And we're going to keep doing those squats, but with weights now. So feet hip width apart. Remember to have all your weight in your heels to protect your knees. All right, here we go. And squat back and stand up. Good. So you choose how low you squat. So you only want to squat as low as you can keep good form. Good. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to go to 15, but you can stop if you need to. 14, and one more. Good. All right, keep holding onto those same weights. We're going to do bicep curls. So you can stand on 2 feet. If you want to challenge your balance, you can stand on 1 foot. So go ahead and choose palms face forward. And go ahead, curl those arms, keeping your elbow into your side. Nice and slow, especially if you're on 1 foot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're on 1 foot, switch feet. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Good job. Go ahead and set those weights down. So for most of this, I'll count to about 15 today, but you can always choose to do a little more or a little less, depending how it's feeling. Go ahead and grab some lighter weights. Good. Now we're going to combine our squat with an arm raise, so you can watch me real quick. So we're going to squat down and lift up our arms for an arm raise. All right, here we go. Relax those shoulders so they're away from your ears. And go ahead, squat down. Lift those arms up to the side. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. So when we're doing our arms and legs at once, it's called a compound exercise. So you can get a lot done in one exercise. We'll do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and set those weights down. And let's stretch out our shoulders. So arms in a T, and go ahead, bring 1 across. If you want, you can sort of keep walking around, or you can march. Good, release that arm and bring the other arm across. And go ahead and release. All right, we're going to go back to the top of those. So grab your heavier weights for squats. All right, weight in those heels. Here we go, and sit back. 1, 2, and keep going. So you want to make sure that you're breathing. And keep that core engaged. Shoulders are relaxed. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good, we'll go right into that bicep curl. You can choose to add balance if you want. So palms face forward. Go ahead, stand on 1 foot if you want to, and curl up. 1, 2, and if you have to just put that toe down, that's okay. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Go ahead and switch if you're on 1 foot. 8. Good, keep going. 12, 13, last one, 14. Whew. Go ahead and set those down, and you can grab your lighter weights. So as we do the second set, you can always adjust those weights up higher or lower if you need to. All right, here we go. Squat down, arms up to a lateral raise. Good. Make sure when you're raising your arms that you're not shrugging your shoulders up. So really think about keeping those shoulders down. And if your arms give out but your legs aren't, you can always drop the weights to continue to 15. We're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good job. And go ahead, set those down, grab a drink of water, and then we'll move on to our next set. All right, so grab your heavier weights, and we are going to come down to the floor. So we're going to be doing chest flies here. So I will show real quick. So you're going to be on your back with your knees bent, palms face together. You're going to open your arms and then come up. All right, here we go. Push that low back down into the mat, just like a pelvic tilt, and arms out to the side and up. Good. 2. Keep going. So you should have a slight bend in your elbows as you're doing this. 6. This is one exercise that tends to make me sore. Sometimes I don't feel this one as much as when I'm doing it, but I'll feel those chest muscles the next day. And 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead, stay on your back right here. You can watch me for the next one. So our weights, palms are going to be together. They're going to touch right above our head. And then we're going to bend the elbows. The weights are going to come towards our forehead. Don't let them hit your head, and then come back up. So we're keeping our arm in the same place, but just bending at our elbows. So go ahead, follow me here. Push that low back into the mat. And go ahead, bend those elbows slowly and controlled, and back up. Good. 2, 3. So you should feel this in the back of your arms, the triceps. Keep breathing and keep that low back pushed into the mat. And 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go ahead, bring those weights down to the side. You can sort of roll. Just be careful when you put them down. And from here, we're going to do bridge pose. So you can do it with both feet on the mat, lifting your hips. Or you have option 2, you can do single leg bridge. So one leg is up towards the ceiling, and it's okay if there's a slight bend in that knee. It will just depend how flexible your leg is. So we're going to do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. So go ahead and lift up. 1, nice and slow here. 2, and try to keep your hips even as you do this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and switch legs. You can keep going if you're on 2 feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Go ahead, hug those knees into your chest and just take a couple deep breaths. So you can do a big exhale and sigh out. All right, and we're going to start back at the beginning of those. So you can sort of roll to your side and grab your weights and come back. However, you can do that safely for your arms. So knees are bent, feet on the floor. Arms are up above our head, palms facing each other. Push that low back into the mat. And here we go for that chest fly. Go ahead, open, slight bend in the elbows, and back up. Good. 2, 3. So really control the weights here. And just notice that breath. Are you holding it? Good. And we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Weights above our head, palms facing each other, and let those weights touch. So make sure that this part where your bicep is, this part of your arm should not move as you come down. So that elbow is going to stay in the same spot the whole time. All right, here we go for our triceps. Go ahead, bend those elbows. 1, nice and controlled. Keep the weight far enough from your head. 3, push that low back into the mat so that core is engaged here. 5 more. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Go ahead, release those weights. Again, you can roll to your side or you can sit up, however you can put those down. All right, single leg bridge or feet on the mat and doing bridge with both feet. Go ahead, lift one leg up if you're doing option 2. And go ahead and lift up. 1, 2. So as an extra challenge, you cannot go down all the way, so just hover right above the mat and then lift back up. Good. And 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and switch right into the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you always want to be challenging yourself, but making sure that you're not pushing yourself so much that you're going to be sore. But you want those muscles to grow and grow stronger. 9, last one. 10. Good. Hug those knees into your chest. Take a couple breaths. And we're going to do a little core work while we're here. So go ahead and your feet can be on the floor, knees bent. Push that low back into the mat. That's called our pelvic tilt. And hold. So we want to keep that engagement the whole time. Lift your knees up to 90 degrees. And we'll just bicycle those legs. So one bends, one straightens. But tune into that low back. Make sure it is pushed into the mat. So option 1, your feet would be more towards the ceiling. Option 2, you're bringing those feet closer towards the ground. Only as long as that low back stays on the mat. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring those legs straight up towards the ceiling. They can be bent or they can have a slight bend in those knees. And we're just going to do a little bump up, trying to lift our hips up. So you want your hands on the mat by your side and just lift those hips up just a little bit. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring your knees into your chest. And you can roll to the side to get up, or you can rock and roll just like this and rock yourself up. Good. All right. Stay right here in a pike so our legs are straight. And we're going to do our leg lifts here. So chest nice and tall, and then go ahead and lean back a little bit. Try to keep your legs straight. We're going to do left leg first. So go ahead and lift that left leg. 1. Try not to let it hit the floor if you can. 3, 4, 5. We're only going to go to 10 here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling that today. All right, right leg, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. All right, and go ahead, we're going to do push-ups. So we're going to have our arms wide on this one. So if you're on a mat, your hands can be at the very edge of it or they can be off the mat. You can be on your knees or toes. We're going to try for 15. You can rest whenever you need to. So come into your position. Make sure that core is engaged. Here we go. 1, 2, keep going. So make sure you're breathing. Nice and slow, keeping it controlled. And 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. We will go back to the pike. So go ahead, sit in your pike with your legs straight and start with your posture. So sit up nice and tall. Keep that tallness as you lean back just a little bit and putting your hands down. So you can have the toes pointed or flexed. You can choose. Left leg, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go ahead and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. And then go ahead and make your way to your push-up position. So again, you can choose to bump it up or bump it down on this second set. Just sort of tune into your body and see what it needs. So hands wide, come into that plank position on your knees or toes. And here we go. 1, 2, keep going. Make sure that belly button is into your spine and that you're breathing. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go ahead, take a child's pose or a puppy's pose. So puppy, you're up on your knees and you just walk those hands forward and just take a couple breaths here. And go ahead and walk those hands back up and make your way to a seated position. We're just going to work our core a little bit more and then we will end with some stretching. So sitting up tall, your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor, and just go ahead, sit up tall, and then you're just going to lean back a little bit, but keep that back straight. So option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to lift up one foot or both feet. Option 3 is hands by your side. And we're going to hold for about 20 more seconds here. So make sure you keep breathing. If you need to take a rest earlier, you can. Keep that chest up, almost like you're sticking your chest out. Good. And go ahead, feet together, come into a butterfly position and sit up nice and tall, and then just hinge forward at your hips. And take a few breaths here. Nice, slow exhale. Good, and we're going to do that one more time. So go ahead, sit up nice and tall with those knees bent. And then go ahead, lean back just a little bit. So you choose your option. And then hold. Don't hold that breath. And you can always try a harder option for a couple seconds and then come back to the option you were doing. Good. And this time, straighten your right leg, bend your left knee like a butterfly, and we're going to do a hamstring stretch on that right side. So inhale those arms up. Exhale, stretch over that right leg, bringing your chest towards the leg. Your hands can be on the mat. They can be reaching your ankle or your foot. And just take some nice deep breaths, using that exhale to just relax your body and stretch a little more. Good, and walk those hands up and go ahead and switch legs. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, stretch forward. Just come back to your breath. And just take a moment of gratitude here for coming to this class, for moving your body, working your muscles. And walk those hands back up. And then from here, we're going to bend one leg on the floor, and then we're going to cross that other leg over the top. So if your leg doesn't cross over the top, it doesn't have to. Good. So sit on those hips. And then arms out to a T and twist towards that leg that's in front and hug that leg in towards your chest. And you can try to look over that back shoulder behind you. Nice deep breath here. And go ahead, untwist and switch your legs. So it may be different on the other side, what you can do, and that's normal. Arms in a T, twist towards that leg that's up and hug it into your chest as you look over your back shoulder. Good, and go ahead and untwist. We're going to do one more stretch. You can sort of sit on your legs or you can stand up. We're going to do a tricep stretch. So go ahead, bring one arm up, bend that elbow, and then go ahead, push back at that elbow. So bring your shoulder blades down. Make sure you're not shrugging up. Good. You should have a little bit of engagement in the core so you're not arching in that low back. And go ahead and switch arms. Good. Shoulders down, core engaged. And go ahead and release those arms. And that is all for today. You guys did a great job. I know I was feeling a couple of those exercises. So great job.